Hello everyone, today we are going to try out Vanilla OS. So when you boot into Vanilla OS, you are going to get this on your screen. Now along with that, you're going to get this coming up. So let us try Vanilla OS for the time being. First, let me just go to activities and check it out, that if we have the installer over here. So this is probably the one that is shown here. Let's click on try, and here we are going to get some of the informations about Vanilla OS inside the terminal itself. So if you're reading this, you are probably a tester or a developer, so thank you for the interest and all. Anyway, it talks about some of the known issues, such as the installer may freeze, so it will continue with the installation, but they are working to replace it with Jade, which is a GTK 4 Plus libadwaita installer. So Jade is the default installer of Crystal Linux, which I am going to review in a few days, and that is cool. That looks very much like on GNOME. So here is an image of the Jade installer. Anyway, next we have Ubuntu packages can't be installed from GNOME software if the immutability of the system is enabled. So you use APX instead. We will remove the ability to install Ubuntu packages from GNOME softwares entirely before the open beta. And then there are some suggested tests that they provide, so you can check them out. Okay, let's close this, and if you want to reopen that, I guess it is here somewhere. It was present. This one is the Vanilla OS beta note, so you can check it out by clicking this application. And next we have some applications over here, but before that, let's check out the Vanilla OS control center, because that is the main part, which talks about the immutability of the system. And this is not a completely immutable operating system. The main feature and attraction of this is that you can change the immutability. You can change it and turn it off. Like you can turn on immutability is currently in read and write mode. You can click this and turn on immutability, which will enable only read mode and not write. And you can also restore when it reboots. It will restore to the default mode, and the default mode can be set here again, read only or read and write. So what is immutability? It's basically that the system files become read-only. So often it happens that you install a system, then you install a couple of packages, and then in the long term, something breaks and then your system becomes unusable. So this basically helps you prevent that, because the system files become read-only when immutability is enabled in Vanilla OS. And in case if you want to make changes to the system files, then you can again disable the immutability for the time being and make it read and write at the same time, and then make the changes and again turn on immutability. So doing errors or making errors in the system files to break the system is not easy in Vanilla OS, and that is what makes it different from other Linux operating systems out there. Main part is that it's using GTK 4, so it looks very modern. So you can check out the credits from here. You can also see some of the legal notice and the copyright related information from there. And yeah, so this can be done. Now let's turn it off for the time being. And then here are the subsystem or the applications which are going to be installed. They will show up over here. And finally we have the drivers. For my case, it is the OpenVM Tools driver. So you can go and apply changes which will install the driver here. But anyway, I'm not going to install because it often leads to problems on my system and it is not able to detect the correct resolution. So I'm fine without the driver. And next, let us see some of the softwares that they are providing. First of all, we find the extension manager. Now you can turn on extensions easily from here instead of going to the web browser, searching for GNOME extensions and then installing the extension over there and enabling it there. So you can use it easily. You just click on browse. You can search for the extensions directly from here, which also helps. Now I guess we are connected to the internet if I'm not wrong. So let me just check it out real fast. For the web browser, they are providing GNOME Web, which is okay, but I guess Firefox would have been better because often I'll run into certain problems with GNOME Web. So let's go to google.com and see if it's running or not. Yeah, it is perfectly fine and running. And if you search for something, for example, let's go for Linux, and yeah, the default search engine is Google, which is great. Now let's see if YouTube works or not. Often it happens that YouTube doesn't work properly in GNOME Web. So let's see if those are fixed by default inside this operating system. So let's search for my channel. Just start a random video. So as you can see, your browser can't play this video, so you need to install certain extensions and all in order to enable it. So as you can see, these are the browsers that are currently supported. I don't know if you can, I guess you can fix it. I have tried it previously and it works, but you need to do some changes and installation. I have probably shown that in my GNOME 42 video or GNOME 43, I don't remember now, but anyway, so this is a problem that you need to face out of the box. Other than that, there are other applications like, for example, photos. Yeah, it's over here, but again it's using GTK 3 and it's the 43rd version. It's very much understandable when an application uses GTK 3 or GTK 4. So that is there. Let's open files. I guess it will be the 43rd version, and yes, it is using libadwaita, so the 43rd version, as you can see. And but the icons are using that color, which I really don't like, because it's kind of outdated and old, I think. Instead, they could have used the blue icon back, which comes with GNOME, like the one they have done on Crystal Linux. That could have been done. Now then, there is Gparted, and it also comes with music, softwares and updates. That also comes with this. Then we have videos, calculator, and the settings app also uses GTK 4.0. So if you head over to the about page, it's using GNOME 43 if I'm not wrong, and it is on software rendering again because of the same. Okay, the GNOME version is not available due to some reason. I don't know why, but it's not available now. Anyway, it's definitely using GNOME 43. As you can see from the user interface, it is GNOME 43. And here we have the windowing system, which is X11 by default, and it uses and the name of this operating system is Vanilla OS 22.10 unstable. The information that is available here. It also doesn't provide the kernel version which is being used. Let's finally check out some other things, like from appearance. Let's see if they have added any wallpapers of their own. The one that is there is the default wallpaper. Okay, they have also added a dark version of this wallpaper, which is great. So just click this and it will switch to the dark version of the wallpaper, which also looks great. And other than that, wow, there are some other cool wallpapers that are coming with Vanilla OS. Looks great. They have done some work. Okay, this is the default Ubuntu wallpaper, but I don't know, these are the ones that come with Ubuntu, or they have added manually into that into this operating system. That is not known, but for the time being, let us stick to this one, which is there. Bluetooth is turned off, but we don't have Bluetooth here, so obviously it won't work. And this is the wired connection that is connected with VMware. Finally, we are getting the console instead of the GNOME terminal, which is very good because it goes with the GTK 4 very well. So let's go for NeoFetch to see some information. Okay, it's not there, so definitely you can install NeoFetch. So NeoFetch, it is installed. Now just enter NeoFetch, and you can see here that here we have the kernel version. It is using 5.19.023, which is generic. It's a modern kernel, and so you won't have problem with drivers and all. NVIDIA, AMD, and Intel's integrated graphics card work great with Linux already, and for NVIDIA also it will probably have some good support because of the available drivers. So they are also telling that gaming won't be a problem on this operating system. That's great. But yeah, terminal is using KGX. This is the terminal, but I guess this is GNOME console. And for the theme, it is using GTK 203 Advaita and icons GTK 203. Icons could have used the latest one that comes with those blue icons anyway. And the shell is bash, and there are 1432 packages with dpkg. Let's go for top and see what are the running processes. As you can see, the maximum CPU, around 48.2% of the CPU. The GNOME shell, another one is this terminal, and then Xorg. So these are the usage. For the memory is the current memory use is okay, it is 3911 128.5 MB is free and 1183.4 MB is used. I guess it could have used around 700 or 800 MB on bare metal, but I guess it is running on virtual machine, so a little bit more on that, because it always happens when I connect it on bare metal. It is just the performance is much better over there. And let us now see what is the amount of storage that they're providing with the USB booting option. Okay, you get 4 GB of space free, which is great, and it should be enough for using it properly. And right clicking, you can open in console, which is open in GNOME terminal on the other cases of Ubuntu or any others with the default GNOME terminal installed. It also uses the latest version of GNOME software, so if you head over there, let's go for clock. If you want to install, you can choose your installation source from here. For example, this is the DEB for Vanilla OS, or let us go for something else. For example, Endeavour. Again, it is just DEB. You can also choose for other packaging managers such as Snap or Flatpak if they are available. So let's search for apps. For example, let's go for OBS. Here we have OBS. So okay, the options are not available here, but they promise that you will have the choice for choosing the default one. For example, the default, your favorite package manager, be it Snap, be it Flatpak, or just good old app. And finally, let's see what's there in the first setup of Vanilla OS. I guess they can keep this first setup thing, because it will be a bit different from others if they use the same Jade OS Jade installer, I guess, which will be implemented more and more by different operating systems. But instead of that, they can keep something special of their own. That would be better. Now let's see how the installation procedure is there. So it's different, obviously. So it's you need to select your language. Let's go and search for English. Okay, I need English. Keyboard layout. What is wrong? Okay, here we have English India. This is for testing, and yeah, works fine. Hit the next button. Then we search for the date and time. That is also India. Search is unfortunately not working properly. Okay, here we have Kolkata, Asia. Next, select a disk. You need to select a disk where you can install Vanilla OS. You can use the entire disk, or also choose for manual partitioning by opening Gpart, but it does not have an option to do the partitioning inside the application by itself. Okay, so we can close this. That was all. In the installer, it looks pretty much similar to Jade installer. I guess that's why they are trying to say that they will use the Jade installer, because of that freezing problem that happens in the Vanilla OS installer, which they have already mentioned. Yeah, and if you want to get the Vanilla OS, the method is very simple. So search for Vanilla OS, search for that. It will open up over here. You can go to the official website to download Vanilla OS, which will lead to like get beta access, and there they will go for a Discord link. Then you need to search for that is from where to start and all. But to prevent that, just head over to Vanilla OS on GitHub directly, then go to OS, and yeah, and then just head over to action. Here we'll get this Vanilla OS Kinetic. Go to the latest one, for example 20 days ago, and there you will get the artifacts that is here available for download. Now you need to just sign in to GitHub for downloading that. So just sign in, you will see the link activating, and there you will just click it and it will lead to a zip file. If you download the zip file, you will get all the checksum and the ISO together inside the file. So that's all, easy. Okay, that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Do like, share and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one.